yesterday, we learned about what may be the first instance of Iran reaching the United States.
It is an escalation of the war. If that's not treasonous behavior from a president, I don't know what is.
In the first week of Trump's war with Iran, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth responded to concerns about the war expanding. Listen to what he said.
That does allow me to kind of address this idea that the war might be expanding or there's chaos and nothing could be further from the truth. This idea that it's expanding or going, no, it's actually simplifying in a number of ways.
We are now on day 153 of this simplification, and it is expanding quite a bit. Yesterday, Egypt was hit directly for the first time in the war. Day before that, on Wednesday, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia joined forces to attack Iranian-linked militias in Iraq. On Tuesday, Reuters reported that Iran is set to give shoulder-launched missile systems in the coming weeks from China. This past weekend, Ukraine struck an Iranian cargo ship in the Caspian Sea. Last week, Houthi rebels in Yemen threatened to close yet another vital strait in the region so that even less oil would be able to reach the rest of the world. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I would say that the war seems to be expanding quite a bit. And then yesterday, we learned about what may be the first instance of Iran reaching the United States. For years now, experts have warned that while Iran's missiles can't reach us, their hackers can. Well, just yesterday, the New York Times reported that state and federal investigators believe Iran struck Minnesota water systems with a cyber attack. But today, Trump went out of his way to shift the blame.
Today, I just want to mention that we heard in Minnesota there was a cyber attack, and they blame it on Iran. I don't think so. I blame it on Minnesota. I would blame it on Minnesota and the governor, the corrupt governor of Minnesota. They like to say, oh, it was Iran. Iran should be so lucky.
Can you rule out that Iran is behind that cyber attack?
I don't. No, I think that Minnesota is behind it. You know who's behind it? Minnesota, because they're grossly incompetent. I think the governor's behind it. I don't think there was an Iranian cyber attack. I think that Minnesota ought to get its act together.
I should mention that Trump's FBI announced that hackers actually targeted water systems in 7 states across the country, not just Minnesota. And as for Trump blaming Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, well, said, quote, Trump knows exactly who is responsible for this attack and knows that other states were hit too. This is what modern warfare looks like, and it further illustrates there's no plan to win a war with Iran. Joining me now is Congressman Seth Moulton of Massachusetts, a retired U.S. Marine and a member of the House Armed Services Committee. He's also a candidate in the Democratic primary for the United States Senate in Massachusetts. Welcome, sir. It's good to see you. Do you agree that an Iranian cyber attack on us, on our infrastructure in, 7 of our states, is an escalation of the war?
It is an escalation of the war. I mean, that's pretty obvious, as you've laid out. And just think for a minute. I mean, imagine if President Roosevelt had blamed Pearl Harbor on Hawaii. That's what Trump is doing. And it begs the question, why would a president who's so against Iran that he started a war with Iran that we didn't need, why would he now turn around and protect Iran? It's got to be that he's scared of these guys, that they're winning a war against him. And he's so scared, he's so desperate to get to the negotiating table to end this war, that he would actually blame America for an Iranian cyber attack. If that's not treasonous behavior from a president, I don't know what is.
To be honest, in listening to the president in that moment, in the clip especially that we played, just to sort of pull that out like that, I think Minnesota is, okay, why would they do that? And did they do it to the 6 other states that were also hit? You have been warning that the U.S. needs to focus more on cybersecurity. You've been doing that for years now. How predictable is it that Iran has this capability and that this is something that does escalate us and takes us to another level?
I mean, it's incredibly predictable. We've been predicting this for years, and we've been saying that the government government needs to be prepared for this. Obviously, Trump is not. He started a war that he didn't need to start. He's so clueless. I mean, look, we're dealing with an 80-year-old senile man who's completely out of control of this war, completely out of control of himself. And it's not apparent that he even really understands what's going on. It's not apparent that he even understands what Iran can do and the fact that they can reach us with cyber attacks. As you astutely pointed out earlier, they can't actually reach us with their ballistic missiles. That was one of the false things Trump said to justify starting this incredibly dumb war. They can reach us through the internet. There are things they can do to hurt us. So the fact that Trump would start a war that's completely backfired without providing the protections against the things that Iran can actually do to hurt us. I mean, the other thing, by the way, that Iran can do to hurt us is try to assassinate officials. And what has Trump done? Repeatedly removed protection from officials or former officials that we know are being targeted by Iran. I mean, this guy's playing for the enemy. He is playing for Iran, and he's giving Iran a win every step of the way.